How should you handle money? Well, first wash your hands. Just kidding. But it's a great question. How do you handle your money in a smarter way so you can have more of it, give more of it, and enjoy life on a higher level? The first thing, I believe, is to revisit your mindset and your attitude toward wealth. When I say the words, rich people, what comes to your mind? What thoughts or feelings do you get when you think of rich people? Do you see them as good or bad? Do you think the wealthy top few percent of the world are kind or selfish? What are they like? What values do you believe they hold? And more importantly, do you even want to become one of them? Many people never realize that their environment, upbringing, and the conversations they heard about money while growing up are still unconsciously shaping how they live today. For example, I grew up in a tough financial situation. I was raised in an old Irish mining town that had been economically depressed for nearly a century. People didn't have much, and many were just working hard day to day. Doing blue-collar jobs to get by, poverty was common. Most families struggled. In that kind of environment, there was always this unspoken idea that there were people on the other side, the ones who had money, the ones who seemed to have it easier. And honestly, in that culture, those rich people were often talked about negatively. There was resentment, frustration, or even anger projected toward those who were more successful. Because of that, I grew up not wanting to be like them. I didn't want to become one of those people, and as a result, I didn't become one, not for a very long time. It's interesting because one of our most powerful human drives is the desire for congruence. We all want to be consistent between what we think and how we behave. If we believe a certain kind of person is bad, our subconscious mind will do everything it can to prevent us from becoming that type of person. We resist it without even realizing it. So if you think rich or successful people are negative, greedy, or selfish, guess what? You'll never allow yourself to become wealthy because deep down, you don't want to become what you dislike. That's why it's so important to revisit the old stories and beliefs we grew up hearing about money. Sayings like, money is the root of all evil, or rich people don't care about others, or if you get rich, you'll lose touch with your family and friends. We've all heard these things before, and many people still carry those ideas without questioning them. But here's the truth. Money itself isn't good or bad. It's simply a tool. The real question is, what's your personal story about money? Is it positive or negative? Do you believe wealth can bring you more joy, freedom, and the ability to give and serve others? Or do you fear it, worrying that if you make more, you won't be able to handle the pressure or responsibilities that come with it? Many people believe that if they chase success, they'll lose their balance, their peace, or their relationships. They think more success means less family time. They think more responsibility means more stress. But these are false assumptions that keep them stuck. We carry so many false ideas about what it takes to succeed, to earn, and especially to sustain wealth. Some people even say, it's lonely at the top. Well, who wants to be lonely? Or, rich people are selfish. Who wants to be that? These stories quietly stop us from pursuing our full potential. You have to redefine what wealth means to you personally, not what your culture, your neighborhood, or the media told you it should mean. For me, that shift happened after years of financial struggle. I grew up with nothing, then eventually got a good job in corporate America. I worked hard, started climbing the ladder, and began to build a little success. But over time, I realized that the corporate world wasn't for me. So I made the bold move to quit and chase my dream, to make videos, write books, and host seminars to inspire others. And what happened? Exactly what people warned me about. I went broke. I had no plan, no real knowledge about running a business, and no safety net. It would have been easy to quit, to say, money just isn't for me. But I didn't. I knew that if I wanted to share a message and make a difference, I needed to be financially stable without income. I couldn't sustain my purpose or continue helping others. So I decided to change my attitude toward money completely. I realized I could make money honestly, with purpose, and without guilt. The truth is, not all rich people are selfish or greedy. Many are philanthropists who use their wealth to do great things, to take care of their families, send their kids to college, buy safer cars, support charities, and give back to their communities. Most wealthy people aren't villains. They're good people who worked hard and learned how to use money as a force for good. After I changed my mindset and started focusing on building value in the marketplace, everything began to shift. For the first time in my life, I had money, real money, and I didn't even know what to do with it at first. I had never been in that position before. But slowly I learned. I found good uses for it, giving to charity, helping family, taking my loved ones on vacations, buying gifts that made others smile. And I realized something powerful. Money didn't change who I was. It simply amplified what was already inside me. It gave me freedom and joy, not guilt or greed. So if you have any negative beliefs or emotional hooks about wealthy people, whether it's the top 1%, 5%, or even 50%, it's time to let them go. Rewrite your own meaning of what wealth could be for you. The amount of time you spend can make you more productive and help you get recognized for what you do. Think about the janitor who doesn't just sweep the floors, but starts asking smart questions about how things work and how to make them better. That person begins to stand out, gets noticed, and soon receives more opportunities. It's time to start adding more value in the same amount of time that you already work. Most people are working at an average level, and that's not meant as criticism. It's just the truth. You can see it in the statistics, the graphs, and the efficiency studies. Most people just go through their daily routine without adding much creativity or innovation. They simply do what they are told. But if you can go beyond that, you'll find that there's no traffic on the extra mile. If you give just a little more than everyone else, you'll find yourself ahead of the crowd. You'll stand in your own space where few others can reach. The truth is, people don't work as hard as we often assume they do. It might sound negative, but every productivity study shows it. Because many people don't enjoy their jobs, they don't give much of themselves to their work. But here's an idea. What if you could teach yourself to like your job by giving more to it? What if you could learn to enjoy what you do by adding new and creative elements to it? When you start doing that, you naturally produce more results. With better results often comes recognition and reward. You begin to add real value, and before long, you move up or earn more. However, sometimes that doesn't happen automatically. That's why it's important to raise your standards for reward. What I mean is this: if you're someone who gives your best, if you're what we call a high performer, then you deserve to be compensated fairly. Many of you know I teach a program called High Performance Academy. It's one of the top personal and professional development programs in the United States. And if you've attended, you already understand what we mean by high performance. If you're giving your all and still not being recognized, then it's time to make a move. Either have a clear and honest conversation with your employer or consider leaving. You can say something like, I'm contributing a lot here and offering real value, but I don't feel my compensation reflects that. Can we revisit my agreement, or do I need to start exploring other opportunities? You must have the courage to stand up for your worth. If you are truly contributing at a high level and not being rewarded, then something needs to change. Of course, some people only think they're giving more, when in reality, they're just doing the same as everyone else. But if you're genuinely raising your standards, pushing yourself, and adding more value, then you should expect fair compensation. And if that's not happening, then it might be time to look for a better job, a new company, or even start something of your own. Raise your standards, raise your expectations. Many people say, raise your minimums, meaning increase the lowest level of what you'll accept in your life. Don't keep accepting situations that don't serve you or respect your potential. You can even apply this to your finances. Raise the minimum amount of money you expect to have in your bank account. If every month you just hope to have $500 left, that's all you'll ever have. You'll stay stuck at that level forever. I know what that feels like. I've been there. I've had times when I couldn't even afford a burrito. So believe me, I understand how tough it can be. But if your expectation is always, I just hope to have $500, then you'll keep repeating that same situation. At some point, you have to raise that number in your mind. Ask yourself, what amount can I aim for next? Then start working your way toward that goal. Many people who eventually land six-figure jobs say the same thing when asked how they did it. They started looking for six-figure jobs. They set their sights higher. They took bold steps, gained the experience they needed, or achieved results that helped them qualify. Some even applied for positions beyond what they thought they could handle and got lucky. But luck favors those who act. Sometimes, to reach the next level of pay or success, you might need to move to a new city, switch companies, or take on something new entirely. You can't be afraid to make a bold move if it means improving your lifestyle and your opportunities. Trying new things and challenging your limits often leads to growth, better income, and a richer life experience. The more you push yourself to explore new possibilities, whether in your career, business, or the way you think about money, the more you'll begin to experience what I call a fully charged life. Hey everyone, it's Brendon here. Did you enjoy this episode? If you did, there are 3 things you can do right now to keep going on your journey. First, you can subscribe to my channel so I can keep sending you weekly videos that help you change your life. Second, you can grab my brand new book for free by clicking the link right here. And third, you can visit my website and sign up for my newsletter where I send free offers, programs, event updates, and podcasts, things that I don't always share on this channel. So go ahead and click any of these links you see here. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, go out every single day of your life, live fully, love openly, and make your difference today. Next, something practical. If you're not already investing automatically, please start. It's one of the simplest and smartest habits you can build. So many people say they'll start saving someday, but they never do. If you're in charge of manually transferring money into savings or investments, it's not going to happen consistently. The key is automation. Set up your paycheck so that a percentage, even 5%, 10%, 20% goes directly into a savings or investment account the moment you get paid. That way, you never even see the money, and you can't be tempted to spend it. You don't need to hire an expensive advisor to get started. Just talk to your bank or use an online platform. Read simple, smart books like The Automatic Millionaire or Money Master the Game. The goal is to make saving effortless. Because if you rely on willpower, you'll skip months, make excuses, or tell yourself, I'll start later. But those skipped months become years, and years turn into regret. Even Warren Buffett once said that if his family didn't have much money, he'd still tell them to put whatever they could into an index fund. Index funds generally beat the market over time and are among the safest long-term investments. You don't have to be a financial genius, just consistent. Talk to your bank or an advisor, set up automatic transfers, and forget about it. Let your money work for you quietly in the background. Most people who end up retiring broke didn't fail because they were lazy or foolish. They simply never learned to manage their human behavior. Human nature loves instant gratification. We spend now and plan to save later, but later never comes. Automation removes the temptation and guarantees that your future is being built even while you sleep. Finally, ask yourself, how can I add more value in the time I already work? If you work 8 hours a day, how can you bring more creativity, focus, and service into those 8 hours? You don't have to work 15 hours a day to get ahead. That just burns you out. What matters is what you produce in the time you already have. Can you find a new way to solve problems? Can you help your team more? Can you come up with ideas that serve your clients better? The more value you add to the marketplace, the more income you'll attract in return. People who earn more simply find ways to serve more, contribute more, and think more efficiently. Money doesn't come from luck or greed. It flows to those who create value and believe they deserve abundance. Change your story about money, manage it wisely, invest automatically, and always look for ways to add more value. That's how you handle money intelligently and live a life full of freedom, generosity, and purpose.